Alright guys, welcome back to Mill RC. Today we're doing the bench review of the Slick 580 EXP from Extreme Flight. So this is an ARF kit, which means you have to supply the electronics, motor, ESC, all that stuff to get it flight ready. So this is the 52-inch version, the smallest one that they have to offer in Extreme Flight's lineup. And we're going to go ahead and do the bench review on it. So let's go ahead and go over some specs. We got a 52-inch wingspan, 51.5 inch across with the spinner. Wing area is going to be around 565 square inches, and 3.75 to 4 pounds is the weight range they have listed for this thing. As for recommended electronics, they recommend the XPWR 3910 brushless motor, Airboss 80 amp ESC or Castle Talon 90, 14x7, 15x7 electric wood props, and 4S 25 to 3300 milliamp batteries. As for servos, they recommend either Hi-Tech 5087 or MKS HV69 servos is what they recommend. So let's go over what I have in my model that you see in front of you. I am using the recommended 57mm spinner and 15x7 XOR wood prop, and it's been a great combo prop, and the spinner fits perfectly with the cow, so no issues there. I am running the 3910 recommended motor up front along with the ESC, Airboss 80 amp ESC. And as for flight packs, I'm using 4S 2800 batteries that are kind of old and puffy, so I need to get new batteries soon, but they are working, so that's good. And then as for servos, I'm actually using Bluebird BLS 397HTs, I believe they're called. I can't remember the exact names, but they are a nice drop-in fit in the servo slots, so that is what that's what I'm using as for servos. So this actually comes in two colors. They don't you don't have to go with the yellow one that you see in front of me. You can actually go with this red, white, and blue scheme here. And I doubt this is going to focus, but that's what it looks like and give you a general idea. So if you're a fan of that color scheme, you can go for that one instead. Alright, so I actually did not buy this plane brand new out of the box. I bought it built and never flown. So I'm actually was not the builder on this one, but judging by how it went together, I'm going to assume it was a simple build. It's just like any other Extreme Flight plane. You put the servos in, the control horns on, bolt the motor on, glue the elevator in, square it up with the wings or wing tube, however you do that. And it's a very basic build, just like any other Extreme Fighter style, this style model. It's no different, so it's a very easy build. I'm very sure about that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pull off the cow, pull off the spinner, prop, and we're going to have a close-up look at this thing. Alright, so I got this dismantled so we can take a closer look at it. So we'll start with the SFGs. As you can see, it's the same shape as usual as any other Extreme Flight plane, so nothing different there. This is not a decal, that's actually covering, so that's kind of cool. And we have the spacer that you put on the wing to prevent the ailerons from hitting it. And it actually uses thumb screws to hold these on, but the previous owner didn't include them, so I had to use regular 2.5 hex head. And I like actually using a piece of fuel tubing there so you don't mar up the covering. So that's what I'm using for securing the SFGs. Have the 57mm spinner, I think, or 52, I can't remember. I think it's 57. Spinner fits the cowling perfectly, and it's working great. So, and you can get multiple colors too. If you don't like black, you can get yellow, I think, whatever you want. 15.7 wood prop, like I said earlier, great prop. I'm liking it, so I'm not changing it. Got the cow, looking good. Got a good paint on it. And the paint looks really good. It's not runny or no dry spots, so it's looking really good. It's got a fiberglass construction, so the general. So here we got the XPWR 3910 brushless outrunner motor. This one's a little bit different than the other motors I played with, at least on those two over there. It's got a unique shape to it. As you can see, the dimensions are pretty strange. 10 this way, 39, I think that's in millimeters. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the size of the stator. So it's a little bit a unique design. And it's also a high pull motor, high count pull motor. I believe the pull count is 18 pulls. I could put some annotations in here if I'm wrong. I probably am, but it's a high pull motor. So usually, at least for the two ESCs, they recommend the 80 amp and the Talon 90. You have to set the timing to high. So if you're using a different ESC, you probably have to do the same. But just be aware that at least with my ESC, I had to set my timing to high to get this to work. And it also says this in the manual, so I did it. Once again, as you can see, Airboss 80 amp ESC sits right there, held on with the zip tie. Basic things there. Got the XC60 connector I soldered on, and it actually comes, at least the Airboss came with the ferrite ring. I don't know why I haven't cut it off. I probably don't even need it, but it's there. Too lazy. So as you can see, got the really nice construction. It actually doesn't use the fiberglass reinforced construction like my laser does, or the extra over there. But it's plenty strong, and it's really light. I'm really impressed with the weight on this one. Fully loaded, even with the full flight batteries, it only came up to only about like 8 or 6 ounces lighter or heavier than that guy over there. So really impressed with the weight savings they did with this one. So the construction is very nice. It's very strong, and it's super light. So I'm happy with it. Got the standard carbon fiber tube here. Here's the sleeve, the tube's in the wing. Once again, I balance all my airplanes there to start, and they fly, so that you find it just later. There's the wing retention mechanism right there, just screws. They don't have the quick wing release systems that all the new ones are coming out with, which I'm okay with because I can fit this in my car with the wings on, so it's not a big deal to me. And I think this system has actually saved some weight a little bit because there's a few more parts involved if you do those quick wing release systems. I'm not saying they're bad, but for this model I don't see them being necessary. There's the wing pin retention system. Once again, this is pretty standard for models like this, so nothing new there. Archer R6 receiver. I am using FR Sky on this, so that's what's in the receiver bay. And down in the fuse is really good constructed wood with servo extensions coming out of it because, well, there's servos back there. Alright, so let's get a good look at the tail. As you can see, conventional tail, got big surfaces as a 3D plane should have, so they haven't skipped on that. So here's the elevator servo system. As you can see, it's really simple. They actually do include a G10 servo arm extension to use for your servos. I had this metal Seacraft arm, and it turned out to work really good, so I used it. And I'm also using the Seacraft, whatever the brand name is, 2.5 ball link extension, or ball links. I find them to have a little less slop than the Extreme Flights, so that's what I'm using. Less slop I like, because, well, I hate it, so hate slop, can't have it. There's the rudder servo installation, pretty simple. I'm actually using the Extreme Flight arms on that, so nothing special there. And of course we got the tail wheel there, no big deal. And got the pin latch canopy to hold the canopy on. Best setup in my opinion because, well, it ensures your canopy won't fall off. As you can see, we got the canopy here. It's got reinforcement tabs right there so you don't break the corners. And, well, it tabs in up front, so no big issue there. Alright, so one big thing I like about this airplane compared to those two over there. For a 52-inch model, this thing offers a ton of hand space. It's honestly a lot easier to put stuff around than the 60-inch laser over there, even though it's a larger model. Biggest reason is, these gaps. You can actually fit your hands in here, especially right here for your battery strap. My battery strap falls down all the time. You can get it because this hole is actually wide enough. When the battery straps fall off on those, the holes are tiny, you can't get your hands in there, then you have to go get your hemostats, and it's extremely annoying. Hate that. So that's one of the best things about this model in my opinion, is it has a ton of hand space. So, super cool. That's what I like about it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the plane and try to flip this thing inverted while I'm shooting the camera. I probably won't do it successfully or I'll break something. Get a better grip on it. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, we got a really nice contrast against top from bottom, white, blue, and yellow, black, and blue. So it's very easy to see in the sky. So this aileron configuration I actually found, and the manual recommends this too. As you can see, the control rod and the servo arm orientation. It looks crooked as heck, but it actually works the best. Creates the least amount of binding, so I actually do recommend it going this way. And once again, I'm using the Extreme Flight arms and the Bluebird BMS 397HT servos with the Seacraft ball links again. So, and we also do got a little bit of gray covering here too. So there's a lot of colors used on this airplane. So just be aware of that. If you get this color scheme, I don't know how the red, white, and blue one is, but this is how at least the yellow one is. And then we have the standard wheel pants wheels. They actually use the 48-inch wheels on this. The spoked wheels, I guess. And as you can see, I have only 4 flights, like I said, but it's already chipping my wheel pants because of that gravel lane. Kind of sucks, but only thing I have at the time, so gotta deal with it. It also has the carbon fiber tube extensions from the landing gear former to the F1 former, and I like that setup. It makes this plane so much stronger and really doesn't increase the weight, so it's really good. Alright, so I'm going to grab my receiver flight pack because that's what I'm using, receiver pack, so I can power the high voltage servos. I'm going to grab that, power the receiver on, and we'll see some flight surfaces work. Alright, so I've got the battery in and the radio powered on so I can show you these flight surfaces, so let's go ahead and do it. So as you can see here, I'm also going to talk a little bit about the Bluebird servos that I'm using because, you know, I've had issues with servos in the past. So I'm actually liking the Bluebirds. First of all, once again, can't hear anything. They're really quiet, unlike some others. They're not doing their vibrating thing like some of the other servos I've had in the past, so they're nice and smooth. So I am liking that. So let's go ahead and show you the ailerons. I don't have any rates on my ailerons, just exponential, and I'm not going to show my share my exponential rates because every radio system's different. But I am running about 37 degrees. And they are working perfectly, so, and they're really fast. That's one of the reasons why I went with the Bluebirds, because, well, call me picky if you want, but I like it. I don't like it flying anything over 0.10 seconds, so I really wanted speed, and they have enough speed and torque to fit to do the job. So as you can see, really fast. I like it, and they hold their position really well. So. As for low rates, here's my low rate elevator. Precision maneuvering is this right here, so that's doing good. We got mid rate here. I found the mid rate I needed just a little bit more on this one than some of my other models, but that's okay. And as for high, you see we got the crazy, it hits the ground. So in here, hits the ground. So we got plenty of throw. And then as for the rudder, if you know me, I don't have any rates on the rudder, just expo. You see, it almost hits. It'll very easily hit the edges. So I guess I could increase the travel just a little bit more on that, but I haven't yet. But as you can see, they're really nice and quiet. And as far as at least the 4 times I've flown it, these servos they do seem to hold center really well. So I really don't have too much bad to say about them. I mean, the resolution could be a little bit better. They're not super great, but you know, compared to the KSTs, like the best servos right now are the KST. I forget what's in the laser, but I put those KST servos. Those are the best servos I've ever had. They're torquey. They are extremely smooth, quiet, fast, everything. Love the KST. I'll put the numbers in this video here on the editor. So I really like using those servos. So they're not quite that caliber, but for the price you pay, I really don't have much bad to say about them. The only thing I will say, their frequency rate, I can't remember what they were, but it was a lot shorter range than some of the other servos, so I found myself having to limit, well, I went over that hertz range and the servos started to stop responding, so I didn't want to go over that, and I don't want to have a servo it kind of like jitters out and stuff, so not what you want. So just make sure, at least in my experience with this radio system, maybe it's just me, don't go over their, I forget what it is, I'll put it in the annotations here, low to high and mid rate, or middle settings. So it's a lot lower range, so I found if I went over that, they started acting kind of weird. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced that or not with Bluebird servos, but I have, so wanted to make that clear. But anyway, as you can see, got plenty of throw. I'm very happy with the servos, and that is the airplane powered on. Oh, I'm also using this a 450 milliamp 2-cell, and that gives me about 3 flights comfortably. I really don't like going below 7 volts, so and I get about 3 flights on that. So, and I don't know if I plan to use. I'm kind of neutral on a battery now. Sometimes I use a separate flight pack or a BEC. Although on the Castle Tal 90, like I have in my laser, it has a high voltage BEC built in, so I am actually using that. So, alright, it used to run RX pack like this, but I actually switched to the Talon BEC. Didn't really see the need of carrying extra weight, so why have it? Anyway, that is the airplane powered on. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up this bench review. So we'll go over some pros and cons, and at least what I can think of, and then we'll go ahead and finish the video. First off, yes, I know the full-scale 182 that I usually had in the background is not there. It actually had to fly for work today. It's a work airplane, so it's not here, so you're going to have to settle with more boring airplanes, I guess. But anyway, we'll go ahead and go over some pros and cons. As for pros, they're probably going to be the same, just like any other review. It's an extreme flight. It's a high-quality machine. Flies amazing. And, XA, precision, whatever you want to do, this thing is very capable of doing it. So, flying, always good. Construction, and like I said, the biggest plus is the amount of room you have, hand room. That's the biggest pro I find with this thing. So, that's at least my biggest pro. As far as cons go, I really can't really think of any. The only one where I'd have to say where I am a little skeptical is the servo size. Even though they say they're micro servos, it's like a middle in between micro and mini is at least what I think of it. And there's honestly not a whole lot of servos, at least that I could find. Like I said, I like to go for really fast or fast as possible servos, and these Bluebirds were like the fastest ones I could find that dropped right in. Now, I think if you buy this plane new, they actually give you some little wooden plates or squares to actually use servos around the high-tech 65 MGs. Because if you try to put high-tech 65 MGs, they're just going to fall right through, I believe, because they're just not large enough. But the servo size that they recommend stock is a little weird, and personally, probably not really a negative on the plane. It's just a shout out to servo companies out there that you should be making servos for this, because, well, there's not a whole lot of servos that I personally think I can use besides these Bluebirds, but luckily they're working great. So that's pretty much the only complaint I can think of. I mean, as far as there's any other really things I don't like, there's things I really do like, honestly, for this one is it doesn't have that quick wing release system. I feel like you don't need it, so I actually like that's not on there. So, but anyway, that's all I can think of for this one. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave in the comments. I will be getting a flight video soon. I've only got 4 flights on it, so it may look a little squirrely and not that great, but hopefully I can get a flight video soon. And then I can do, I just get some more flight footage for it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching MillerRC, and tune in next time.